hooky again.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We thought you was playing.
the time has arrived and left, but we're getting started pretty close. We're not bad off at all. Councilman, we're glad to have you here. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, settle down and pray for us, because we sure need some prayer.
Oh, it's gonna be all right.
All right. Invocation.
Yes. Father, I do want to give you honor and thanks for allowing us to be together this morning. I ask for knowledge and wisdom to help for us to get together to help make this budget balance. We ask you to bless all the departments, all the city, our state, our county, and all those that is bereaved and sick. In your name I do pray. Amen.
Amen. Let's stand and pledge allegiance to the flag of our country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to ask if there's any corrections, additions, or modifications to the agenda. That's not allowed in a called meeting like this, so our work is cut out for us. And I'm going to preface this meeting by saying this. We normally try to begin our meetings at a certain time, and I try to keep them within a modest length of time. But we're not limited to that. There's nothing that this council, when we're involved in something, if they want to stay an hour or 2 hours or whatever, these folks right here control that and not me. I do like for us to try to be trying to lead the council, to make it stand up, speak up, shut up, and not go too long. The thing I want to say now is that with that, we're not limited to the amount of time that you folks want to stay. You folks are the boss, y'all decide. But I think it's unfair to you fellas and lady to think that you're going to solve this thing in this hour, or if you stay here 2 hours. It's going to take, of course, you may fool me. You may have all the solutions to it. If you have, good Lord, I wish you'd come in even later, before and help some of us trying to get all these figures added up. But I'm saying this, here's what I think we ought to do in this hour, and if you can complete it, Lord knows, let's get it. I'd love to get it behind me immediately. But I think our purpose here for the next hour is to look at this situation and make sure that all of us, particularly 1, 2, and of course Ms. Bernice is already familiar, 1, 2, the voting members of this council know what we're looking at and what we need to do. And then, with the help of these folks out here and us, begin to look and study and talk a little bit, maybe not long. We got to make up our mind. If we don't make up our mind today, we need to make up our mind tomorrow or Thursday, if not maybe Friday, at the very latest, and we go on Monday. So I'd say this decision, I'm trying to help you to know that you're getting all the problems at hand. And then, but you need some time to digest this and solve this problem correctly. It's not going to be done in 15 or 20 minutes. It's not going to be done this hour, I don't think. But at least between now, with the help of these people, these department heads out here, and people that put this thing together, and us, working on it diligently, trying to serve this community, we can take this and resolve this issue. And as our councilman down on the end, in his invocation, to the good Lord, let us come up with a balanced budget, something we can live with, work, and serve this community with, and that's what we're here to do. So I've given you now, Dwayne, you were not here, I've given you last year's budget, I've given you this year's draft of what, and listen, let me assure you, if your budget in this draft is not like you submitted it, you let me know there's been a typographical error. Because I've taken exactly what each one of you departments gave me, and that's what's here. If there's a difference, for instance, one department I know left out the clerical help. We had to add the clerical help, and that made a little adjustment in it. But what I want you to know, and you get that resolved right now, if this thing is not your budget that you submitted, you let me know somebody, me or somebody made a mistake. I haven't changed a thing you submitted, except to help you And I think all of you know this, that maybe you need to pick up this or that or the other, whatever, and asking you how you wanted to do that. So now your budgets that's here is what you gave me. Now here's the figures. Now the income is not. I'll be more than happy for you to verify that. Now, I've taken the accountant, everything every kind of report that we could come up with, and I've come up with every bit of revenue from each one of them that I possibly can. If I've overlooked some revenue, let me know if it'll add to the correction of the thing. So here again, I've taken what you've given me, or several people work with us, including y'all. We've taken things in the budget you've given us and taken our accounting and the people that keeps up with the receivables and funds and monies and so forth, from the airport hangars to garbage. I mean, the whole works. We've looked for every dollar we can find to go with the general budget, and every dollar we can find to go with the water and sewer and the golf course. We've done everything we can do to try to get what's there. Now then, the decision of how you take all these figures and make them work is not mine, it's ours. All right, we're open. If y'all looked it all over,
we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board just a little bit, because, according to my figures, we are $439,040 over budget, from last year. There are some departments that, were actually under budget, and I calculated that as $102,700, giving us a total of $336,340 still over. I know this is, tentative without, any little calculations that we may need. What concerns me the most is that much overage. I don't think we can raise that much taxes at one time, on our people. If we levied, y'all correct me with this, I think we got approximately 80-something thousand, is that?
one meal will generate between $80,000 and $84,000.
And even after the departments that were under budget, that's $336,000 that we're over. So we're gonna have to make some adjustments somewhere, or have another means of income, that's there. Just food for thought that I had taken a minute to put these, figures together. This is a comparative of 2020 to 2021. And y'all got it in front of you too, to be able to see, where we're at. Any suggestions, I'm sure open.
Explain that to me again. Now, after department heads, and I will admit the last time, and this wasn't with your department, with the water department, we was 200 and something short, right?
I don't know, I've looked.
298,000.
I've looked at some many figures.
Okay.
That was a deficit.
Now, did we include since the water department is a, enterprise fund, do you normally include that into our budget?
Well, wait a minute then. All right, if you
It was
look,
done differently this time.
it's always done differently.
Okay.
It's always done differently. If you look at last year's and this year's,
Mm-hmm.
water and sewer, revenue, water and sewer, expense, and if you look, it was $1,552,000. The revenue was, the expense was $1,500,000. It's a balanced budget last year, and it's balanced, by the way, this year.
Right.
So water and sewer's not even involved in this now,
Right.
even though it's in the budget. Water and sewer's balanced. It's, I'm looking for 2022 draft, here it is. All right, this year, water and sewer revenue was $1,609,000 versus $1,552,000, so $100,000 difference this year.
Okay.
And the expenses is balanced, so the water and sewer budget is a balanced budget.
It's about, but now, if we're balanced, And Mr. Ramey, you said you figured at how much again?
All I did was, do, the math between a comparative of 2020 to 2021.
Mhm.
I didn't state, the different ones that were over or under, but you've got, 4 areas that are actually under. I'll show you the figures that I had. This is how much that y'all were under.
Right.
Now that doesn't mean that if you're under, you're still gonna go back and plug something in.
Mhm.
But that's the figures, that's what they are.
The reason I was thinking now, cause if my mind serves me right, the last time we was right at 200 and something thousand, and we had just about to figure out how we could swing that one. And now we say we almost 300,000,
The
451,000.
huh?
Well, that's-
451,000.
You're 336,000 short, I think that's where your 298,000 was coming from.
Okay.
It's about 40,000 different,
Okay.
and I don't know where that, came from.
Okay.
I
But
have
it-
no idea. So the 298 now that the figure that you got in your head, is now 336, which is 36 and 230, it's $38,000 difference.
that's not bad.
That's $38,000 difference there.
Right.
Now, the other has not changed, I don't think, or it may have gotten a little bit greater too, is that we're spending, or gonna have to put, in order to keep the golf course going, we gotta put 115,300 in the golf course.
Okay, what do
So if we take the 115,000 and the 336, which is 40,000 more than the 298, we're short of $451,640.
400? Okay. Did we come up with anything as far as?
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
Okay, but did we come up with anything as far as the other entities helping us with the golf course? Have anybody said it would help some?
Don't know. We got a good article in today's paper, by the way, Mary Ann and folks down at the Jeff Davis Ledger have laid our work session out and our appeal that we always would like to save the golf course. And, just like Mr. Bloodworth, mentioned in the article, he's quoted in it, and even Mr. Ramey, that we'd like to, we can't afford it, and the burden of the golf course can't stay on this little city. In fact, hardly anybody in the city is playing golf. They're playing golf in the county and African County and everywhere else. And the city cannot carry that $100-something thousand. It had been, of course, according to the accounts report, and I don't know where that figure came from, Ramey, you asking me about. Last year, the budget reflected something that he was questioning, but someone out from the accounting, from the material that I'm given in the books, I just put the figures down. And how that was listed, I don't know, it was listed different. But now this year, I'm showing $115,300 difference in the amount of revenue that's available and what we're gonna have to put in it to keep it open, if we keep it open.
To let everybody else know what I asked you a question on the revenue.
Now, they don't have all these notes that you got up there
Yeah,
now.
that's the reason I'm saying this. On what I asked you about, it said revenue for golf course, that was there. It said golf, house rental. It had that at, 5,500, and then, the other one just said golf course. I couldn't figure out
I've
what
just
that
had
was.
an idea of what that may be. It's got $5,000 in there. I think that the sheriff's department in Rutherford is giving green fees for all these quotes. The sheriff's department has, rents that thing for a whole day as a fundraiser, and that the accountant may have lodged in there some kind of leasing the golf course. Do you have any idea, Ms. Bernice? I don't have any idea where it was, too, but we picked it up from the records last year, and it may be the course was rented, or maybe, I know of one of the charitable things rented at a time or two on a certain day. So that may be where that $5,000 you worried about coming from. But if you look, the 56, it looks like last year had about $70,000 worth of income. No, a little more than that. The deficit last year was what? About $66,000. But I'm not sure that's right either. Well, now, if you would like, you're mighty quiet, we're willing to discuss, that's what we're here for, discuss this budget. You've got it laid out in front of you, what your problems are. Now, you can, and I told you, President, in the beginning, that I don't think you fixed to solve it here. But let me tell you what, it's gotta be solved, and it's gotta be solved pretty quick. We gotta have public hearings on it, the public's gotta be invited to come in. We have to have 2 public hearings at different times, right, Ms. Bernice? One maybe at, 10 o'clock in the morning for folks.
We have to have one in the AM, we have to have one in the
That's what
PM, and then we have to have one prior to the regular council meeting.
Well, yeah, but that's, I think that's the way we worked it before, yeah, when we finally approved it, we put it on at 5 o'clock before the council meets at 6, that's the last one. But anyway, the public's gotta be invited to come in and put their input in this thing, and it's gotta run in the paper, what, 2 weeks, right?
Correct.
It's gonna be running in the paper 2 weeks, and it's gotta be an approved budget before July the 1st. So we got time. We got time, we're doing pretty well, doing what we're supposed to do, but it's gotta be done.
Okay. Well, personally, again, I think the department head done a good job. If we can work with what we got there, we can get our heads together up here, y'all, and handle this. Leave the budgets like everything been presented to us as far as what they got. Well, I can ask that later. But anyway, we can get our heads together, and if we can keep it at that 300, that 400,000, and don't concentrate on nothing else but that money, adding it into our budget. If we can concentrate on coming up with that amount of money.
Well, let me tell you how you can do it right now, and we can handle it and get out of here. You can raise the taxpayers in the city. Everybody listen now, I want this. I'm telling you how to solve this problem right now, and we'll be gone in 10 minutes with a balanced budget. Right now, the taxpayers on their house and property in Hazelhurst are paying 8 mills, which is .008. You increase the millage rate in the city, 5.6 mills, so they'll be paying instead of 8, 5, 12, 13 and a half mills will balance it just like that.
It ain't that easy. It might be to you, but it ain't that easy for me.
13 and a half mills, the total taxes will take care of it right quick. Well, somewhere in between, John, I was trying to be funny.
I give you one that, it'd probably get a little rebuttal on, but, could be done. The fire department, alone is, according from 20 to 21, is about 50,000 over. We can add $1 to the, water bill. And,
You can't put water bill money.
You just trying me, ain't you?
I thought I might get a little rebuttal somewhere.
Now, you can
Listen, y'all.
designate,
It can be for,
something on the water bill for something else.
for fire hydrant, maintenance and such
Okay,
like.
all right.
We can, but
That's all I'm saying, that's the problem that I've laid in your lap, and that you got it all here, and if you wanna take and get with your department heads and have all the jam sessions you want to have about it, but somehow or other, somebody in the crowd has got to say, look, we can get rid of this, or we can find out more money here, or whatever.
I say let our department heads get together and let them take a look, and I trust them. And they know what they can live without and what they can't. I say we just take an intermission and let them get together and see what they come up with.
Well, I think it's gonna take a lot more than that, so,
I think that,
but I think that's the way it's gonna be done, but as far as an intermission. Why
They
don't
got a
we-
target. The department heads can have
You
it.
got this paper and all to go with it, why don't we, dismiss and call another meeting for tomorrow, or Friday, because we're gone Monday. We can call another meeting tomorrow sometime.
one question.
Check the schedule.
Huh?
Check the schedule.
One question. Are we asking the department heads now to look in their budget to try to cut some of this?
Absolutely.
and maybe there's not anything they can cut, but I'm saying at least put some fresh eyes on it, get together, you get to know one another anyway when you work closer together like that, and see what they can come up with, come back to the drawing board and see what we can do.
But to the council, I'm gonna say it like this, like I'm gonna stir it up anyway. I say leave the budget like they have already given it to us. The accountant and you, since you're the gatekeeper of this, y'all done went over the budget. Have you seen something that could be cut?
I'm not gonna do the castrating, I've castrated enough pigs and cows, I'm gonna let y'all
Okay,
castrate this one.
then we ourselves need to have a meeting of the mind to pull up here, because we know what we need to do with the city. Our department heads have given us their wishes and what they need. Some things they want and can't get. And I think you're gonna be better off to let us decide to help them, and we can go back to their department, because they've asked for these things, and we know. And we should be able to communicate with our department and let us do it as quickly as we can. But to leave it like they got and try to keep everything in, as bad as it is to sound, we know we're gonna have to do something about the taxes. We know we got to. So, let us get our heads together instead of putting this burden on their back. Leave it as it is from our department heads, and let us try to work things around what they got. And if something is in it, I said, well, Mr. Raymond, do you surely think that they might can do that? He said, well, let me call and talk. Let's see. Rather than putting this burden on them, let us take it. We can do it.
Well, that's a possibility, that you could work some things out. There could be some line item, budgets that we could delete from the budget itself and, broke back at the latter time as a line item that would be covered by splosh or whatever it might be.
Well, this COVID fund, see, we're gonna get a good bit of money
Yeah.
there, and we might can take some of these one-time expenses.
One-time
You can't put operating,
Absolutely.
type stuff in this, but your one-time expenses, and we've talked about this some already, some of this stuff that's in the current budget, we can arrive at it with COVID. We'll have to look and see. We've already been schooled a good bit, and what's our next meeting, do you remember?
This afternoon.
This afternoon? We got another meeting on what all we can use these funds for. What time is it?
I think it's
4
4.
o'clock again. So at 4 o'clock, we'll be back in here again, trying to see what all is going to be available, when, and how it can be used. So we're going to work on that. And some of these, for instance, I'll give you an example. Conrad Swain's department, and they're calling me, and he's gone and with a business that was kind of slow during the week, and one of these big trash dumpsters, and he backed up there when he wasn't looking and hooked onto it and took it and carried it to somebody that needed one real bad because he didn't have a dumpster. And then the next thing you know, it become Monday morning, where's my dumpster? So we are without enough dumpsters to handle our businesses around here. We're growing and they need them, plus they wear out. So I think I've got enough clarity, Conrad, to answer your question, that we're going to be able to probably get 10 or 12 of those dumpsters with some of this COVID money. See, that's a one-time expense, and those things, if we take care of them and get where we're setting them down on something other than setting them flat on the dirt and they rust out, I think those things will last 10 years or so. They have. You've got some that's older than 10 years. So, for instance, that you were worried about, I think we're going to be able to get that material with this COVID relief money. And it may be, folks, that some of these things we got in this budget, this busting our budget, can be solved and got into that area. So these are things you got to work on.
I want to reiterate the fact too that we don't forget what we passed the last time. Out of that COVID money, $1,500 per employee is supposed to come out of that for their COVID relief.
And
Y'all hear Mr. Raymond's going to politicking down there now.
God, don't be talking about me.
But that's just like the blooming politicians.
Talking bad about me. SOB's all I'm
But
gonna do today.
I still think that that this amount of money and with what our department heads have given us, and we sit down in good faith and work together, it might be where we can work this out. It's not such a great amount that we can't, but to the board, we know we got to do something about the taxes. I don't see, sorry, my friend, but I don't see that kind of taxes you talking about.
So, yeah, that's just, well, it's all in 5 minutes.
But anyway, but we can work with what our departments have given us, and we're not gonna cut nothing out. Just come back and try to talk together and see what you might can do and what you can't. And we go back and deliver it back to our department heads. It'll be easier to do it that way than sitting here and each one of them trying to do different things, because every man thinks that his thing is just as important or more. But
Okay.
this council can do it.
I'm going to entertain a motion. Y'all don't have to handle it now, but from what you said, I'm going to entertain a motion that we inform the clerk to send out a notification for a meeting tomorrow at 2 o'clock. She's got from now to 2 o'clock to get it out, to be legal.
Mhm.
That we meet tomorrow at 2 o'clock right here.
Tomorrow, well, we need to ask our council if we can make it, but,
Well, I'm just asking.
I would say that we need to ask our supervisors if they can have enough time to work on this, you know, from now to tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Okay, then I entertain the motion that we have our clerk to put out a notification. We have a meeting Friday morning at 10 o'clock. Or if you don't like that.
Can y'all make the
I'm
motion?
retired, I can,
2 tomorrow. Everybody, 2 tomorrow. 2
anybody got a
tomorrow.
problem, 2 tomorrow?
Let's do 2 tomorrow.
2
I
tomorrow.
entertain a motion that we instruct our clerk to call a meeting on budget tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
I'll make that motion.
Wait a minute, okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Bernice, you have any problem getting that done for 2? That'll give you plenty of time to get it out 24 hours ahead. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
1, 2, aye. That's everybody, it's unanimous. Okay, the motion carried. We'll have another call meeting at 2, what time did I say?
2 o'clock.
I called out so many different times to have a meeting. Okay, y'all want to handle it, we don't have to stop now. If y'all got more questions or things you want to do while we're here, or if you got these folks here,
Well, why don't we just take the time to go take a little intermission and talk to them and see, and with their budgets, and then come back.
all right?
It might get rectified today.
How long intermission do you need?
30 minutes,
Huh?
30 minutes to
All
an
right.
hour.
30 minutes, we'll meet back at 11 o'clock.
Thank you.
And if it's not resolved... All right, okay, here we are. Somebody, I believe, John Bloodworth, you're on the stage right now?
Yes, sir. Talked with, Captain Martin, Chief Williams. So we were asking in the budget for 4 cars, that's $200,000. And we're willing to take those cars out of this budget, with the understanding that we can purchase those cars with that COVID Relief American Rescue Plan Act funds. Also, too, we're in need. If we agree to that, I need it guaranteed. The man has said that he would invoice for in the new fiscal year in July. So if we take the $200,000, the money is guaranteed to come in. The American Rescue Plan, right. And then that would help eliminate, or it would help the deficit.
That would definitely help the deficit. It's, according to the figure I'm looking at, it's $363,000. You just call it $300,000. You go up one, you levy up one, you're talking now with 200 of 4 cars that we get back from the COVID, and, levy one, you got 300,000. You're back pretty darn close to being balanced.
Now, with us making this agreement, guaranteeing it, are y'all okay if the man will invoice in the new fiscal, can we go ahead and order the car?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
You ain't got the money in the bank, you don't know when it's gonna get there.
They've already told you how much is coming, the man's invoicing for the new fiscal, July 15th. There's no invoice.
I don't see where, when the money.
Then, okay, then it's 200,000, we
Again,
still got
I'm
a
telling you,
deficit.
that's not good business.
All right,
You buy
then we
something-
still have a deficit.
Buying something on a credit that you're
You
gonna.
do it all the time. Now, I'm trying to help you out with your
Well, you ain't
budget.
helping me with that.
Well, I don't, then you're not
I just
helping
got
me.
I just got through telling you that I think, of course, now here again, there's 5 votes here. But now listen, please be, just like I begged you before, listen, this money is not in the bank yet. The governor's got to come up and get through, and we don't know what's gonna happen to this money. Now, we just told you, and I have, and I think everybody else has, that we want to use this money to try to cover this. But for us to sit here as a council and say we're gonna do something, we don't even, man, that's just
I was
absolute.
saying 2, not 4.
Huh?
I said 2, not 4.
Well, even at 2, even the one.
I don't see how you can't make that
You
agreement.
can't spend $1 that you hadn't got it yet. You don't have the authority to do that yet.
Did they say what time that it might be, we could look for it to come to the bank?
I don't have any idea. She and I have done everything we can
We got
do.
another meeting coming up, we can ask that specific question, but.
But now, let me tell you
it's
something now,
supposed to be.
in defense now. We sat here as the council and voted to approve $1,500 for employees on that. What's the difference? See? But I'm telling you, it's not good business. Particularly when you go into the dealer and you don't know when you're gonna be able to write the check. We don't know when we're gonna write these folks the check either. It's just not good business. But now y'all do what you want to. Y'all, 3 votes is all it takes.
It's done every day.
If you go up one levy there, that money's not in the bank yet either. But at the same time, we know that it's coming. We know that the COVID money is coming. It's not no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We've been told it will be there.
And it can be spent like you know exactly how it can be spent.
You know as much as I do.
Well, I don't know.
I'll tell you what,
That's
may I
fine.
refer to Captain Mark? He talked to the people that's releasing the funds, correct?
Correct.
Sure.
And they said it could be used for that.
I think it can too. I agree.
Utilize that, and also, if we're qualified for grants this year, that we can use that money we spend to be the matching funds to go towards that grant.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's,
Conversation
well,
on it.
see, just like I believe, and these folks over here have been shopping and looking for a blooming vac truck, they need one so bad. I believe that that's gonna be approved too. But as far as me telling, of course, if there's 3 votes if you need, now telling them that they can buy a vac truck, hell, I ain't about to
Sure.
tell them that till we know more about it.
Am I understanding what you're asking, say, if we agree to that, you want to go ahead and tell the car people?
He said that he
What-
would
what's the
invoice
timeline
60
on it?
days out.
Well, I know the Brandon family real well, and they'll do the same thing when you know more about what's gonna happen. I went to school with the brother in that outfit, and I can call them. The Brandon family is a friend of mine.
You
I
know what,
they'll
I
do
tried
that.
to handle 200,000, I mean, I tried to help, but I'm not getting no help, so.
Well, you are getting help if you, but
It's
for us to
not worth
guarantee
it.
you.
The
gonna get-
money is coming, and we can use that money for that, it's just as much as sitting here and
I
making an
believe it.
agreement and put the $200,000 off the deficit.
I believe you're right too, but I don't
Well,
think. we're
then,
gonna-
you know, we either make a deal or we can't.
Do we have to do the deal,
Yes.
immediately with the cars?
I mean, we
Let's
waited
say-
this long, I mean, but we need
What we
to
trying-
take action.
If you're trying to take action to cut this off the deficit right now, and, do we have time to run it before you actually do the deal with the company?
Sure.
Another thing too now, from what I've heard from y'all, we've only cut $284,000. We're going up a mill, we haven't voted on that yet now.
Right, right.
That's part of it, but you're saying we're going up from 8 to 9 mills. Or that's 84,000, this blood works go up with 200,000 on cars, that's 284. Now you take the 336, 340, minus the 284, you're still $52,340 short.
Well,
You need to come up with another $52,000, even with that, you need to come up with another $52,300.
Conrad, I think, as far as that part goes, to, start with Conrad. I think Conrad figured a truck in there.
Well, he's wanting a dump truck, and he's wanting those dumpsters, but
No,
that's,
that did.
he's wanting.
Garbage truck.
To see if we can, use this money for that, but nobody's made a commitment on it, and that's the reason I'm reluctant to make a commitment now.
Okay. But in order, so we don't know exactly the amount that's gonna be coming down the first half, 'cause all of it ain't supposed to come at one time.
It's cut in half,
Mm-hmm.
2 installments,
Right.
so it would be half of 1.3. Well, my understanding of,
1.3 million.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk
Well,
with
where's
him.
the other
Let's see
fifty,
what
where's
he-
the other $52,340 coming from? We still out of balance,
Well,
even with what they've done.
well, if he went to find out what those trucks run, and we can take that out, he might.
That truck's not in there.
He told me it was,
Oh, it is?
yes.
I didn't see it line out of the wheel.
Okay,
they
he
hit?
didn't have it with him, I told him to think about it, because if we can wait on that, it might be where we can do something about that later on, you know?
Well, I thought that's what, according to what I've got in there with the dumpsters and the truck, they're counting on trying to get that with this COVID money, was my understanding.
Okay, I thought he had it in it, I told him to put it, okay, I told him to put it in there. And, that night
Well, so
one of them just
I've got
said-
a copy of what he's giving me right in there in that big folder.
Okay, well,
But it'll take us a while to go through it and figure out
what?
I'm thinking with the 52, we don't have the other 52,000, $52,340 with what these folks have come up with. We've got to come up with that about it. We can't just reach out of the air and, put that figure in there either now.
I think if we'll be patient right now, today, while we're here, and to communicate and negotiate, I think we can get up from this desk and walk away with everything all right.
All right, but then let's work on another
And then we won't have to
52,000.
call another meeting. We're here, let's do it. Let's just do it.
That's what I say.
I have to say that I've looked at the, police budget here a little bit too. Gosh, you can put them all on bicycles and, take all the ammunition away from them, you still don't get but, about $30,000 for that. So we've still got a problem.
Well, we need bullets in case people start shooting first.
Yes. And I don't think we need, I was in jest,
I
put them on the
understand.
bicycle.
I understand.
But with the money, it's difficult to juggle at this time. We've got, the best thing that we've got is offer what you said, and I think it will work to be able to get that, money for
I believe it will
COVID.
too. I definitely believe it will be available. I don't think, I'm almost sure it is. But there's no money in the bank, and I don't know when it's coming. Now, I know, they've told me the same thing Mr. Mark said, but, it's not here. And I think once it gets here, then we can begin to sit down and decide how it's gonna be spent. And I don't think there's any doubt that we'd all try to do what we're working toward. I don't have any doubt to that. But, right, wrong.
See what I'm looking at.
Well, now, here again, now, I want to remind y'all of something now, Ms. Bloodwood, you too. You put a motion for in a second, get 3 votes, hell, it's done.
Oh, I'm well aware of that.
All right.
I think I'm gonna put it in the form of a motion.
No, wait, please don't do that.
Okay.
Let's
I'll honor that.
Let's wait.
I'll honor that.
Let's be together.
I'll honor that.
Please.
I'll honor that.
Let's be together, because we're gonna work this out.
Okay.
And that can work out, if we get our dates and things,
Okay.
let's don't
Okay.
fight with
I can
each
honor
other.
that.
Well, why don't we, go back to what we've instructed our clerk to do and call a meeting for 2 o'clock tomorrow?
Let's see if what we can get worked out today.
Yeah, I mean, you
Don't-
say he's coming back?
Don't put off what we can do today.
Let's Conrad get him for just 1 minute.
Are we still in intermission?
Well, no, we can call back to the,
Yeah, we're still in intermission.
Call another intermission. I'm gonna go see what else I can look at.
All right, let me tell you, all right, let me have everybody's attention now, everybody. Now, here's what I think. A budget is an estimate to begin with. It is a projection. I've never, the years I've been here, going on 12 years, and I've never seen one follow it explicitly, but you've got to have a good rough guide and try your best to follow it. And let me tell you something that we've never done, and we may have done it one time. When we get to mid-year, about January, and we see we're running short and all, we're supposed to come in and have a budget amendment mid-year to make corrections. But we, as a general rule, just let her fly, and then if we run out of money, go down to the bank and borrow some money and whatnot. But anyway, that's not good business. But anyway, the budget is an estimate. We're down now that y'all worked and come in and you've done more than I thought you would do, but thank goodness you have. I think you're within 31,000, and if the council will give me the discretion, I know exactly how I can fix it in about 3 minutes, stay at 31,000. I couldn't fix 400,000, but I can fix 31 pretty easy.
I've got a question, from one of the council members, I could not answer it, that why the animal control is up 6,600. Steve's not here for me to ask. Why is it an increase of 6,000?
I have no idea, but let me tell you this, that is a albatross around our neck. Animal control is one heck of a mess.
I just didn't know why we was up that much, you know.
Vet bills are over $1,000 a month.
Maybe some of it.
Vet bills are over every month. We pay the veterinarian over $1,000 a month, and sometimes way over that. But the animal control is a heck of a problem, and the county doesn't have animal control. And let me tell you something, and I ought not tell you this, but I'm going to. I would say roughly 25% and probably more of animal control is this county calling us outside the corporate limits of paying us to handle problems. And sometimes we have to call in people to help, and the chief can, the police can answer this. The police department was out with a blooming dog trying to bark in and bit a child or something, and we have to call somebody from animal control to come out at night and pay overtime to get to handle a blooming dog or something. So that's a heck of a problem. So I don't know what it is, but here's, are you interrupted me. Can I go on now?
Yes.
You can.
All right. You're within $31,320, and I know how to, but it's an estimate anyway. If y'all give me the authority, and Mr. Bloodworth, I'm going to ask you and the police department that we feel sure that we can make these purchases for even this big purchase that these folks who want us a biggie that they won't no bigger. I think sure that this is going to be a godsend to get this money and use it. But don't ask me to make a commitment to call the Brandon Company and tell them to go ahead and send the cars and what. Let's get our money before we make a purchase. Please, let's don't do that kind of business.
I wasn't gonna ask you to call him, I was gonna call him.
Well, if I didn't want you want that, I don't want us to make that kind of commitment. But I feel sure that we can get busy and get that.
I just don't think two cars going ahead and, but getting it in the, invoice in 60 days, I just don't see where that's a
He'll do the same thing for you when we get the money.
big issue.
He'll do the same thing for you when you get the money. I've known him since I was 18 years old. But with that, if the council will authorize me to take what y'all have given me, the 200, you won't go up a mill on the taxes.
We ain't voted
I
on
know
that
that.
either.
All right, well, let's
If you
vote.
get them with $30,000, just hold up on that too. Where you gonna take it from?
I ain't got to tell you all my secrets.
Well, we need to know. Your secret.
Miscellaneous income has always works real good for
See
$30,000.
what I'm saying? Now, we out here being just as transparent as we can be, and you holding $30,000.
No, I'm just saying that you.
I'm just saying,
just
I
an
don't know
estimate.
why you can't just authorize, this council can authorize me, if we, took $200,000 off on an item that we are in desperate need of, I think this council can say, okay, go get the cars and have them invoiced in 60 days. I just don't trust the system.
Make a motion, John.
I am.
Okay?
Well, he didn't want me to.
No, and
So I withdraw that.
I ask you.
I withdraw that
Don't
right
make
now.
the motion, cause it's gonna work, but let's work with it like this, guys. Let's see where it's coming in. Let's don't divide ourselves.
But the money's
Make the
coming
motion, 'cause
in.
we gonna get it.
It's coming in.
I agree. Well, I understand what you're saying, and I believe we gonna come in, but let's make sure that the budget, that we got it all there together, and then we get the cars. But I can assure you that I'm gonna back you up to get the cars. And if me personally, I don't know what the other, if I've always stood to the operating table, and I always says, if this happens, how you gonna get out? If we fall into something, cause I don't trust the United States government with money too, sometimes they change their mind. If it don't come, this council can get together and get those cars for you, I
Okay.
promise.
All right.
I promise you.
Okay.
Okay, the first thing we need to do, entertain a motion that we, the city of Hazelhurst increase the millage rate for the city of Hazelhurst from $8 to $9.
I'll-
8 meals to 9 meals. We're talking about from 8 meals to 9 meals. Entertain a motion for that.
I'll promote.
Mr. Johnson has made a motion that the city of Hazelhurst increase the millage for the coming year from 8 meals to 9 meals. Is there a second?
You don't say.
I thought everybody had agreed on that.
Nobody, I hadn't agreed on that.
That's where we got the 84,000 from.
You told me you was gonna cut 30 from somewhere. We
We've
ain't
already
said nothing
added-
about- We ain't said nothing about increasing the millage rate.
That's one of the things that's gonna have to be done, though, if we're gonna come up with,
How did I come up with this money?
300
$84,000, $200,000, and I added all this other everybody's done, and the millage rate has been in this figure. If you don't, we're 80,000 plus 30, and I ain't gonna plug no miscellaneous income to cover over $100,000.
But we gonna have, we haven't done it, to the council, we haven't done it for a few years, but we got to do it. I think, and that's a bad taste in all 5 of our mouths. But to the community, we really kept it down, but we're probably gonna have to try to do something now, because we hadn't done it over the years. So I think you're gonna have to, I think that we have, prudent, department heads have done their best to turn in these things, and I don't see that it's been overly burdensome what they are asking for. So I think we can do it to the council, I really do, I think we do.
All right, let me say this, John Bloodworth.
And we can add that.
See, the figures, I'm sorry, I apologize if that wasn't clear, but see how we started with 84,000, the millage rate, I said, and then y'all 200,000, that's 284, and then the airport was 20, and then the $1,000. Well, Lord, I've been adding that to a millage rate all along, and if I did that in error, I'm sorry. I was under the impression that everybody had agreed that we were gonna have to go up 1 meal. And if I've made a mistake, I'm sorry, but yeah, if that's not the case, we
We're
can.
still gonna have to cut it if we don't go up, a meal.
Let's all go back to the drawing board.
So you're saying, John, that you wanna hold on that, going up a meal on taxes?
Until we talk more.
Until we can talk more. I have no, problem with that, but we know that we've got, we got to cut with a dull knife now.
Well, you know what? We've come a long way this morning.
Yes, sir. We've got halfway there, but, it's still lacking. And the mill would help us, but I'm not one that, likes that because I'm paying it too.
I pay it too.
But, it's one of those things that I think it's gonna be something we're gonna end up having to do, whether we like it or not. And even as I, aggravate poor Dwayne about, the water bill, that's one that's gonna have to come before long too.
Why you keep bringing that up?
I think that's gonna get that maintenance back in there that we
But-
talked about too.
But if we
just
need
shifted.
to, if we need to wait before we making the final decision, that's what I was talking about first. We done come in and decided that everybody done come back and gave ideas like I thought we were gonna do at first.
Oh, you didn't know, John, that I was adding the 84,000 in it? Somebody said, yeah, with one bill, and I added that in it from the very
Yeah, I didn't
beginning.
know.
I'm sorry.
And we, you know, and if we need to do that, and then plus, if we can see what other things may materialize, you may not have to do nothing if other people will help us pull the city. But we know other entities may not do it.
Well,
That's why we need to talk with whatever, but.
let me make a recommendation,
Mhm.
or talk about an issue, that's hot topic issue. If we would consider putting a board back at that golf course, and bring those monies back in there, there's your
What-
difference.
But I think
That's a
that,
joke.
Not just that.
How's that a joke?
That's a joke.
I think
It's
that,
not just that.
I think
it's just a
that,
draw.
I think
But listen,
A joke.
anytime you want to make a motion that we reappoint them, and instead of how you want the golf club committee to work out there, you nominate it, put it on this floor, and I don't mind voting for it, but I would like for you to clarify, they don't sit up there and give all their folks the right to play golf for $5. And that money that I contributed heavy on it myself and put it on that board, if you'll go out there and look, don't add up to what it takes to balance this budget. And it's not fair to go to businesses in Baxley, to Woody Folsom and everybody else begging for folks to go out there and play golf. If they're gonna play golf, they ought to pay their way. But go ahead and get the corporations to try to go out and beg if you want to, but I'm not in favor of it.
well, I think that the golf course, the golf course, no matter what we decide with it, is not gonna, it ain't gonna balance it for us. But we done come up with an idea to balance the budget right now. We can always come back and improve the golf course, but we done come up with an idea to balance this budget. And if we want to come back later on and bring other ideas to try to get up the other 30,000 or whatever, we can. I think that if we can get these other entities to help some, we may not have to increase our taxes, we may not have to do nothing if everybody will help pull the load. Now, I heard one time you say you didn't have to decide today, then I heard, no, let's decide today. So if you think we need a couple of days to get it together, then somebody who know how to talk to other people, let us go out and talk with them.
One thing to point out that you talked about that the golf course would not handle it, we're missing, almost 200,000, a little less than that. If we use the deal that we talked about with the police department and the cars, if we close the golf course, you save $175,000.
Yeah, I mean,
So that's the same thing.
Yeah, that's a discussion about, if we wanna discuss it, that's what we're here, as you say, it's a working budget, this is what we're working on.
Right.
It's no easy solution, but it's, we got to come up with a solution. I'm assuming we still gonna meet at 2 o'clock tomorrow.
No, sir, not if we finish it here, we know what to do. We know if you balance this budget, we ain't got to meet at 2 o'clock tomorrow, and I'd rather not.
No closer than.
If you don't balance the budget, then we got to meet again tomorrow and try to work this stuff out. But between now and 2 o'clock tomorrow, if we don't make it, then we got to come back the next day.
Taking that mill out, that took $100,000 out, so that's,
But if we
puts
didn't-
us a lot further.
I'm sorry, I already thought we'd agreed we were gonna go up 1 mil, I'm sorry about that. But I already ordered that, I added that in from the, if you remember, I started off 84,200, and I went ahead when y'all got coming up with the money. And I made a mistake there, but I thought that was already understood.
Let's see here.
What was that noise? Somebody's
Somebody's
phone?
phone talking. They got a video playing or something.
What?
Somebody's phone.
Yes. Is your TV still on in there?
Oh, in yonder?
Yeah.
I have no idea. It's on, I don't listen to it whether it's on or off.
But it's quiet.
Here. Talking about, we got 30,000 right there.
That may be what's coming over this sound system.
Let me go back to the drawing board one more time. One more time. Come here, y'all.
Just like you sent it to me. What he's just found out here is that, the employee allowance for health insurance is $178,000 instead of $280,000.
Correct.
It's 101,000.
Huh?
$101,584.
No, it's not what,
I'm sorry, 78.
178?
178, yeah. So $101,584.
Is, so we got, we got a balanced budget. Okay, all right,
But that's a balanced budget, though.
that 101,000 will put us in balance because we were 30,
With
well,
or
no,
without the
no, with the
levy?
84 and the 30, all right, what was, we were looking for is the 31, 340, and,
You look good, balance.
the, 340, and he's come up with a, yeah, okay, hold on this minute, I'll tell you where we are in the 180,000. I mean, in the 84,000. The, 84, 1, 2, 3.
I'm just doing a rough figure. You
31.
lost, 100,000 when you decided not to levy the tax. And then we found 100,000, so we're still,
And then you take off the,
you're still at, 30,000, 40,000 less.
Won't see that.
the 10, what is your figure, John, 101 what? Even?
101,584.
584. All right, we're back within now 32, yeah, even with adding that back. We're back close enough that the miscellaneous income could balance the budget with that 101,000.
I say we're a heck of a lot closer than we were.
We've done an excellent job of looking at that. Okay, I entertain a motion that we take the adjustments that's been given to us and that I incorporate them within the budget and get us a balanced budget prepared to submit to for the public hearing and go ahead and announce it.
And that's without.
That's without, when he found that 101,000, that got us back down where we're within, I can handle a little bit here and
Go
there.
over what it counts, again, be specific, because we're talking about the 4 cars, that's there. Be
200.
specific,
Well, wait a minute, let me go over it. I've got it listed- I've got it listed right
they
here.
understand the, guarantee that's there. Make sure that, that 100,000 they just found there is included, and how much is missing from that point.
All right, let's add it up as we go. All right, let's add this 101,000 first. And what was the other figures? I wrote it down there.
101,584.
That goes where?
84.
But that was a clerical error that was actually made this current fiscal budget.
All right, and then 200,000. That was the cars. Then we got 20,000 from the, Cody from the airport. And then we got 1,000 from Chief Wasden. That's $322,584 on to the 300 and what, 30?
336, 340.
Okay.
So let me get my calculator back up again. My brain ain't working. Alright. Alright, what'd you come up with that figure again on?
Added together 322,584. But now that's another thing too, now you remember the
323.
322,584. remember, you still got your deficit of $115,300 with the golf course now. That's an enterprise account that's separate. I think we need to have an emergency meeting with the commissioners and the, school board and see if they want to close the golf course or not. They're gonna have to do something because, by July the 1st, and this budget not balanced, we're not gonna be able to handle it if we don't do something.
I have no problem with that.
I do, but unfortunately, I don't have any choice.
I have no problem with the meeting to put heads together and come up with some solutions. We're-
Okay,
We're
let's-
coming closer.
all of our
We ain't
time,
there.
and these folks' time is valuable too. All right, I entertain a motion that, the little, difference in here, we'll put it in miscellaneous income to handle the little, now we're down to, $12,000. That we worked it around that way. Entertain a motion that we approve the, general budget, as, the suggested amendments have been proposed.
House motion, if it's, you
Well,
say it's
everybody know what we're talking about now.
Okay.
Well, if you take the 22 and subtract the 336, you can subtract yourself, that's $14,000. No, it's not 14, it's 13,000 something dollars.
And that is including the golf course, all right?
No, that's not including it.
I'm not understanding
Me
that.
neither.
I'm really not
You need to go
understanding
that again. There's something not adding up for me.
I lost me because.
Well, y'all help me add it up, did I miss anything?
And I just wanna say this too about the golf course. I know both of y'all don't like that golf course.
That's
But
not
with
true.
what we're trying to do with our downtown and our growing our city, we need the golf course. Some way, some shape, some form. Because we're going backwards if we give it up. We got a golf team at the school. It just makes sense to have it.
But I thought that all the figuring that we was doing had the golf course figured in it.
I did
I didn't
too.
think we had that touched.
I did, I thought that $300,000 included the golf course.
Well, I had 84,000, I had 200,000 of cars, I had 20,000 from the, golf course. Y'all see one
Whoa.
thing?
Wait, y'all.
Whoa.
20,000 from the airport,
Yeah.
and, I added, as y'all gave it to me, $1,000 from Chief Wasden, and I added them all up, all along, and they're right here, and each time I announced them. And now with this 100,000, you've got it, without the tax, you take the 84,000 back and add the 101, and we're down to about $14,000.
All right, give me that figure again that you've got added up.
We were at 30 before you had the 101,000.
Yeah, but that had
We're down to
84,000 in it though for, one meal tax increase, John. See, I started with that.
Mhm.
What was that figure again?
Which figure you want now?
The one where you added up all the subtractions, 100,000?
Okay, the 101, I forgot them in the machine, I can't, call that out to him, John.
101,500.
What am I calling
I
it?
need the total.
101,584.
All right, and then.
Wait a minute,
Okay.
I need the total, not that, or I have to, do this again. Let me total them up for you. Thank you. 101,584, yeah, 200,000 cars,
20,000 from the airport,
20,000 from the airport,
$1,000 from Chief Wasden.
1,000 fire. All right, now I can add another.
322,580.
322,
580.
84. All right. Now that makes sense. You got, you're down to $13,756. That's chicken feed, compared to what
That's
we've
what I
been
say,
working.
I don't mind sloughing, I can balance it with that. But now, we've still got the golf course to determine now what we're gonna do with that.
You hadn't got to do anything with it if you got down to $13,000.
Well, yeah, I have too, we got to balance it. So, but here's what I'd like to do there.
Golf course
I think
balance.
I think if y'all done enough to get it down to this point, I think that we need to have a word of prayer with the school board, the commissioners, and see if they won't help us. If they won't, and let me say this now, and a lot of y'all are not in this, but we're now in a comprehensive plan for our city for the next 5 years. And, you won't believe, I would have never believed, that that golf course room out there is about half full of people, putting in ideas from all over town. The hospital staff is out there, the bankers are out there, the Department of Rory, and it's just an office full of people planning on what to do for Hazelhurst for the next 5 years, when we were required to do that. Do you know when they got to talk about the golf course, that whole bunch, oh, you better not get, oh, no, we got to have that, our children. That golf course is just like that man sitting right down there. Those folks will start having a fit if you start closing it. And that's the people that's planning for the coming 5 years.
I mean, I'm just thinking of business. I mean, you're going
Well,
backwards to
okay,
get
all right.
through with it.
So now with that, and what y'all done here this morning now, and I'm for us all, whether y'all believe it or not, let me take that and plead with the Board of Education and the commissioners to help us with this thing. And I think like now, I'm gonna sort of preach like Mr. Johnson the way, I think maybe that there's enough community support that we can get them to get off their butt and help with it, and I think we'll be okay.
I think we'll be okay if we can ever get a cooperative atmosphere with, the county and the school board, and the city. I think we can run that golf course. Right now, the city's running in a hole, and we ain't doing no
And
more
we've
than
been- and we've
digging
been
it
carrying-
deeper every year.
We've been carrying it, and see, another thing too, even though, with what I'm doing here, with this advertising one, I believe that, by maybe July the 1st, if I don't, I'm gonna be back and y'all tell you that they flat turned us down, and we're gonna have to do something about it. But at any rate, y'all turn me loose with that. I entertain a motion that we approve.
I offer a motion that the budget be approved.
As amended by this
As
group.
amended.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Lovely. All right, any further discussion? Hearing
I
none?
would say to my fellow councilmen, listen, we've done a good job, this we can handle. To you all and to this board, I've said it before, and I tell you to your face, and to the department heads, and to the city of Hazelhurst, this has been one of the better councils to work together. I encourage you to continue to do that. Hazelhurst is better served because we want Hazelhurst to grow. Because somebody can't see that, we can't let Hazelhurst go down because somebody else won't do. We can only encourage them to do. I encourage you to stick together. I don't know where I'll be, but stick together and keep focused that Hazelhurst gives something to its people, its children to go forth. No matter what I do, you can do it. Stick together.
I concur.
All right, now the webinar, again, on this money that we're all counting on so big, how we're gonna use it, is at 4 o'clock. And, so I want every one of you that want to, and all of you that need to be sitting here, to be on that screen.
4 o'clock
4 o'clock.
It
I
is.
enter-
today?
It will be from 4 to 5:30.
Today.
I entertain a motion that we adjourn, Mr. Johnson.
Offer motion.
We have a vote.
I got a
That's what we
vote.
voted on.
No, sir.
Well, we made it, and.
We got a second.
You got a motion, you
Never
got a
voted.
motion,
Well,
and
you
you got
can tell I'm getting
discussion.
in a damn hurry to get out of here. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Now that you got the motion carried down, honey, I thought we had already approved it.
Thank y'all.
So no meeting tomorrow at 2.
Thank you for your patience.
No meeting at 2. All right, and, okay. Wait a minute now, we got.
He's made the motion and seconded.
Did you second it?
Yes,
He
sir.
seconded.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Let's go.
Second time we voted.